Is a Russian invasion imminent? Another affirmative action SCOTUS nominee is on the way. President Pop Pop pulls an orange man, and Spotify will literally take anyone over Neil Young. All this and more tonight on Embers of Liberty.
Welcome to Embers of Liberty.
Our country is strong. A great people has been moved to defend a great nation. Terrorist attacks can shake the foundations of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America.
In the
These acts
councils
shatter
of government,
steel,
we must guard
but they
against
cannot dent
the
the steel.
acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Inherently and historically oppose the secret society.
We, as Americans, have the capacity now, as we've had in
We
the
decided
past,
long ago
to do whatever
dangers
needs
of
to be done
excessive and unwarranted
to
concealment
preserve this last
Certain
and
facts
greatest bastion of freedom.
far outweigh the dangers
In this
which are
present
cited to
crisis,
justify it.
government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Welcome back to Embers of Liberty, where we're back in our normal setting. And Joe and family are Rona free, and Cody's here.
Yeah,
Also Rona free.
Also Rona free, but he was
Also-
Rona free the last time.
that's true. I was just on the road.
So, yeah. Last weekend he was just out of pocket. So, welcome back to the usual.
To Freedom Base.
There you go, making up corny nicknames again.
To the underground.
Well,
No.
everything's back to normal.
Stop it. We're definitely back to normal.
To the
here.
Freedom
About time for
Bunker.
something to break.
Oh my god.
Welcome back to the trenches.
I don't like you. I don't like you at all. So,
Out of all the things I like, you're none of them.
correct. So, how was your week, Joe?
Like, post-COVID, the past 2 weeks have been very blurry. A lot of sleeping has happened. So I've been in and out of consciousness for 2 weeks.
Huh.
It's very odd.
Interesting.
Late nights turn into sleepy days. It's just time fades together. Days melt together. Eventually you don't know what day of the week it is.
Okay, was your week good or bad?
It was alright.
Okay. Cody?
I mean, my week sucked right up until, like, other than day before yesterday, last night, and today. The week sucked.
That's fair.
How about yours?
My week was pretty good. Worked out every day, as has become the usual. I've officially lost like 10 pounds now.
Sorry, golf clap.
Yeah, that's fine. Played some Halo with Joe last night.
Good times.
Which was really mostly a lot of yelling and me dying.
Normal.
Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was about a normal week. Tomorrow's my off day, so I'm not going to be working out tomorrow. So, there's that. Why is that thing still showing up on top? I don't want to see you. Okay, there we go. Cameraman says, I told you that Ukraine was going to get a major push on it. Now we just need China to push on Taiwan right after that to make everything I said come true.
World War III is coming, baby.
Listen, dude, it is what it is at this
World
point.
War III is coming.
But anyway, so the first three comments are covered. Weeks are covered. So let's talk freedom things. America! So, first things first, Is Russia going to invade Ukraine? Cody, you're over there slacking.
I'm sharing.
Get the YouTube pulled up.
Sorry, I was sharing our podcast still.
So,
slacking.
Kyler says he come to see a pig, and there's no pig. What the heck is this crapshoot? We actually have given away the pig.
Yep.
And the cup.
The pig and the cup have been given away.
To good old Propes. Did you send it to him?
I have not. No.
It is still sitting at your house?
It's actually in my car because I want Cody to sign the pig before we send it.
Sign the pig! I need to sign the pig.
So.
I'm sorry, guys. I've been slacking.
There's that. That's the main reason I haven't sent it yet.
Fair.
Doing the things.
Cameraman says Russia already invaded Ukraine. Crimea. Yes, we're not talking about that one. That part of Ukraine is no longer Ukraine. It's Russia now.
I thought it was contested territory. Isn't that where all the rebels and stuff are fighting?
Annexed into Russia.
Oh, okay.
The last I heard. And I could be wrong on that. Cody, have you got the playlist pulled up?
It's there.
I just want it to hurry up and go down.
Okay, well, we're going to jump right into a video this week because, I mean, we can say whatever we want about the Russia-Ukraine conflict that's boiling.
Let's see some guns.
But what is that first one?
Doesn't think Biden pledges economic support to Ukraine.
Yeah. All right.
That one?
Yep. They should be in order.
Freaking ads, man.
Super annoying. The whole ad thing. It's ridiculous. Man, we started off spicy tonight.
Alright, we're ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Alright.
More live fire exercises near Ukraine's border and continue to build up tanks, fighter jets, warships, and missile launchers around the country's borders. President Biden once again called Ukraine's President Zelensky, promising economic support. President Biden and NATO members have repeatedly said no troops will be coming to Ukraine's assistance. But it's increasingly clear the Biden administration and President Zelensky don't agree on the risk of a Russian invasion.
We've always said, and said for quite some time, that another incursion by Russia could be imminent, and imminent means imminent.
President Biden, along with most European leaders, has warned with so much force assembled, a Russian invasion should be expected.
My guess is he will move in.
With the chances of a Russian attack increasing, a Western intelligence official tells us, as Vladimir Putin mobilizes more troops over the next 2 to 3 weeks for exercises in Belarus. President Zelensky has told his people there's no unusual risk and blamed the United States for stirring panic. It's left many Ukrainians not knowing what to do. There are no public orders for drilling, no mass call-ups of reserves, no tests of emergency response systems, just life as normal. It seems there will be no military invasion, says Marina. I believe this. I want to believe this. Some Ukrainians accuse President Zelensky of publicly urging calm to bolster his own support, as he's challenged politically by Ukraine's former president and ex-champion boxer, now Kiev mayor, Vitaly Klitschko. It's not an option to relax and stay calm. Things could explode at any minute, says Alexander Vizirov, an Army veteran. But ignore it or not, the threat, U.S. and NATO officials say, is real and mounting.
The door to diplomacy is still not closed. Today, the French president spoke with Russia's Vladimir Putin, and Russia's foreign minister says it is still studying a written response that the United States and NATO gave to Russia. So the possibility of talks is still there, Savannah.
All right, Richard Engel in Ukraine for us. Thank you, Richard.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube.
So, I actually heard something about this call with President Zelensky and Biden. And I don't know what's actually going on at this point because for the president of Ukraine to be so nonchalant about it, but Biden to be so, no, they're going to invade, probably in February. Like, have you noticed that shit's not going real good for Biden right now?
Has it ever?
And it's getting worse. And typically, when things are getting bad, we end up picking fights.
Well, you know, and that's where, you know, like, I'm not calling Russia the good guy, but Russia's been saying that we're stoking fear.
And the other side of this coin is that Russia has amassed over 100,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. So, like, either Russia's being an aggressor or America's trying to start a war.
Or what if Putin has kind of gotten to the Ukrainian leader, and the Ukrainian leader's like, you know what, we're just gonna let him have it.
I don't think that's what's happening either, because you have all these Ukrainians saying they would take up arms to defend their country.
I mean, that'd be the same way with this country, though. Like, even if the president was like, nothing's going to happen, there'd still be some of us that are like, hell no, something's about to happen, and we're going to fight.
So, I mean, at this point, I really don't know what to believe. I mean, we're kind of on invasion watch 2022, right?
Yeah, it's like we were worried about COVID last year. Now we're like worried about, like...
I wasn't worried about COVID. I was never worried about COVID.
I'm talking about as a
nation.
As a nation. And now we're like World War III watch.
Dude, the global stage is terrifying right now. Like, I don't know what to think, really. It's
like that. I wouldn't even say the calm before the storm, you know, or the calm before the fall. It's almost like it's just like it's chaos right now. Like, you don't know what's really going on.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem. Like, we need to know exactly what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, because I'm like, look, man, if we're gonna freaking World War III, let's World War III. Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean it's,
but it's more like you were saying, calm before the storm. No, it's the thunderstorm before the tornado.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's where we're at right now.
I mean, that's a fairly accurate analogy, but it's
like, so cameraman says World War III watch. Nah, it's just the pregame. Nothing's really gonna pop off till China makes a play for Taiwan. And that's what I mean,
I kind
though.
of agree with
that's what I'm saying. I don't mean just with Russia. I mean with China and everybody.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
like, Russia's not going to be World War III. It would take more than just Russia to be World War III. Like, if we got now,
it really depends on how serious the worldwide response is, right? So, like, if they invade Ukraine and it becomes apparent that they're going to take over without somebody stepping in, you know, America has typically taken on that mantle of...
Oh, yeah, this whole thing with Joe Biden saying that we won't send troops, I don't believe that.
No, if we weren't going to send troops, he wouldn't have put 8,500 troops on high alert for being ready to deploy.
Well, see, here's the thing. All it's going to take, I think, is once somebody shows that we can bleed, that'll be it.
I mean, no country's immune to bleeding. Like,
I know, but we're like the city on the hill, though.
But we're really not under this administration. We're not. We have zero credibility.
But I'm saying, just being America, to a lot of people, we're just that city on the hill.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But not on the world stage right now. Right now, everybody's like, "Oh no, they're not going to do shit." And I understand why they're like that, because honestly, the president of the United States is a joke.
Oh yeah.
And everybody knows it.
Probably the worst president we could have in office right now in this situation.
Yeah, for sure. But, you know, the Orange Man, he was a Russian puppet. So, I mean, it's...
But Russia left us alone. Even North Korea left us alone.
Yeah, now what is North Korea doing? They're testing intercontinental ballistic missiles again.
That's what I'm saying, man. We have no oomph with this president.
It's literally,
we're a joke. We're a laughingstock.
Yeah. At this point,
and I think we're getting algoed at the moment because like our views are dropping dramatically.
Well, first off, it's hard to drop dramatically when you only had 5 viewers to begin with.
But it dropped a little.
I'm still showing 4.
Oh, okay.
I'm showing 2.
Now I'm showing 2.
Oh well.
So, anyway, sorry, I had to readjust a couple of things because my face was getting all covered up. And
Sorry, side note, squirrel moment. Just throwing this out there. One of my buddies just texted me from Ireland. He's going to listen in.
Nice.
It's morning there.
We like international viewers.
What's his name?
I only know him by his Discord name, Hypen. I don't know his actual name.
Hypen?
Hypen?
Okay. Well, whatever
whatever he comments as, that's what we'll call him.
Yeah.
So anyway, Cody, go ahead and go to the next video because it's actually about the call between Biden and Zelensky.
Well, that didn't sound
so stupid. Game ads that you see all the time now.
But at first it sounded like something else.
Go ahead, Cody.
Now to some breaking news overseas. While Russian troops continue to mass near the Ukrainian border, Russia's foreign minister is now declaring there will be no war. But he warned that Moscow will defend its interest. In a call last night with the president of Ukraine, President Biden reaffirmed America's readiness to respond decisively if Russia does invade. Holly Williams is in Ukraine.
A source tells CBS News that on that phone call with President Biden yesterday, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky asked the US to tone down its rhetoric about an imminent invasion. Now, that may sound strange because, after all, it's Ukraine that has roughly 100,000 Russian troops sitting on its border. But actually, the Ukrainian government has consistently been urging calm, seemingly because it knows that panic, people clearing out supermarket shelves, people fleeing the country would be extremely destabilizing. As you can see, things here look very normal. And that's perhaps also because Ukrainians have been living with Russian aggression for years, including a war in eastern Ukraine against Russian-backed separatists that's claimed more than 14,000 lives, according to the Ukrainian government. But this place, the Maidan, the square that is the symbolic heart of Kiev, is a reminder of just how fragile Ukraine is, because it's caught in a tug of war between the West and Russia. We were here almost exactly
The camera is being ridiculous right now. Dude, what the hell is happening?
I'll have to fix that in a second.
Yeah. Just let this play for now.
Yeah, I'll let this finish out and then I'll fix it.
Holy shit.
Years ago, when there were mass protests against the country's then president, who was pro-Russian. Now, things turned violent, state security forces opened fire, and it ended up with dead bodies on the pavement very close to this spot. Now, different countries have different assessments of what Russia might do, and there's no question that Ukraine perceives the threat. But the Ukrainian government seems to be trying to avoid panicking this country and its roughly 45 million people. For CBS Mornings, Holly Williams, Kiev, Ukraine.
No, now it's just froze.
Yeah, it's... wow. Dude, this webcam has completely crapped the bed, I think. Like, super weird.
We're gonna be no picture for a second.
Okay. All right.
Hey,
yeah, we're good.
All right, we're back.
It's funny that you say they looked like or that we looked like we were going to start a fire because
well, I'm going to start a fire in my pants.
Joe and Cody are going to start a fire later. I'm going home because I live 30 minutes away. But you know,
Crap. I forgot to send that.
Send what?
The video.
Of what?
The send off of the flag.
Oh yeah, we can do it next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
Thanks for burning the flag without me, assholes.
I mean,
hey, we weren't sure there was going to be another fire, so we sent it off while there was a fire. And plus, it was sitting on top of my freezer, and it was just sitting in here, and I was trying to clean. It needed to go. It had to go.
It did need to go, and it left.
Whatever you say.
Very patriotically.
It worked very well. Like, incinerated very well.
Disgraceful.
Hey.
That burns.
Jerks.
That burns. Cut me deep.
So cameraman says if a random guy shows up to your little campfire, don't worry, he's just the messenger. Look, man.
Unless that messenger is yelling the Russians are coming, he's probably going to get shot. Just say.
Make him squeal like a piggy.
So.
Negative possibilities are multiplying.
So, back to the topic at hand. The whole Russia thing, dude, I have no idea what to think anymore about any of this, because Ukraine, they're like, nah, not that big of a deal. We're over here like, y'all are about to get invaded, and NATO's split on it. Nobody knows what the hell's going on anymore. So, I personally think that Ukraine is going to get invaded.
I think so.
I think all of this is just posturing at the moment. And I think maybe what you said, maybe Zelensky has been gotten to by the Russians, and it's just going to be like, meh, take it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why that would be a thing. So, anywho, let's go ahead and move on to the SCOTUS vacancy that's about to happen. So, the liberal Justice Breyer is about to retire. And that President Pop Pop promised that he would nominate a black woman to the Supreme Court in direct violation of the Civil Rights Act, because now you have discriminated against every possible candidate who is not a black woman.
Yeah.
So, which is also racism.
You're making an overtly racist Supreme Court nomination.
But Blackman,
based on nothing.
You can't be racist
if you're white. Or wait.
No, you can't be racist if it's benefiting black people.
Yeah, that's not how racism works, buddy.
That's
not what California says, Justin.
I don't give a shit what California says.
They
might as well be fucking Russia.
No, they're not that powerful.
Well, no, they're not that powerful, but they might as well be a Russian state.
No.
I'm
tracking. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm hearing what you're saying.
Listen,
I'm using the same words.
The tsunami warning that they had a couple of weeks ago
was fantastic.
I was really hoping, just please, just take out like 20 miles of the coastal area. All California's problems will be gone. All of them. But no, it couldn't happen. Also, that volcano that erupted apparently was underwater, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was all the way underwater.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It was an epic view.
The fact that you could see that from space with it being an underwater volcano was incredible. But back to Justice Breyer. So Justice Breyer apparently was not very happy that his retirement got leaked, because he didn't announce it when everybody started talking about it. Somebody leaked that to the press. I don't think that he's choosing to retire. I think he's being forced to retire. I think somebody is telling him, you're going to retire now, because if they lose the Senate in the midterms and he hasn't retired yet, Biden's not getting what he wants in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court nominees can be passed, can be forced through with a 50+1, a pure majority. You don't have to you can't filibuster a judicial nominee anymore, which is stupid, in my opinion. But the thing is like, when the left nominates somebody for the Supreme Court, they don't miss. Like, they nominate people who are going to rule their way on all of the issues that could possibly be on their side. Like, it's ridiculous. And like, Republicans and the right don't do that. They would much rather have someone who's going to actually read the Constitution as it's written and rule on it in a constitutional way, right? That's something that the Republican Party has always done. They've always nominated people who are going to not necessarily be overtly conservative or overtly liberal. Democrats, on the other hand, they don't do that. They nominate overtly liberal hacks to the Supreme Court. There was an interesting proposition that Kamala Harris is so bad at being vice president that they were going to nominate her for the Supreme Court, which would be the ultimate failing up scenario, because
what she's done her
entire career. But honestly, if he were to nominate Kamala Harris, she would have to vacate the vice presidency because she can't be the tiebreaker on her own nomination.
And then she'd be all like, I did it. I did it, Joe.
I did it, Joe. And then, but here's the thing. So this appointee that's about to come down the pipes, that's going to be a black woman, because that's a campaign promise that Joe Biden made, because it's only okay to be overtly racist towards every other possible race when you're a Democrat running for president. It doesn't really impact much, because
to me,
right now it's a 6-3 split on the Supreme Court. There's 6 conservatives, 3 liberals.
If I was a black individual, and he was saying that before he was even president.
Yeah, it was a campaign
He was saying that before he was even running for president. He was just a candidate to run for president.
Yeah.
Like, he was not the candidate. No.
I mean, but regardless, it was a campaign promise, right?
Like,
so
they had not, but I'm saying they had not even picked who was going to lead the Democratic Party yet.
No. But the thing is that, so Joe Biden is in the very center of the Democrat Party.
Right.
The problem is that the Democrat Party continues to shift left.
Mm.
So as the Democrat Party shifts left, Joe Biden continues to shift left because he's in the middle of it.
Right. But what I'm saying is as a black person, if I was a black person, I would feel, I would be offended.
I think, and I can't say for sure because I'm not black, but if I were a black person, I would think these people are just using us.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. They're like before he even becomes the nominee for the Democratic Party for president, he's already saying, I'm going to nominate a black woman for, like, literally he's using black people to market his presidency.
That's exactly what he's doing. You know, and the thing is, there are so many qualified women.
Oh, yeah.
There are probably a lot of qualified black women. There are probably a lot of qualified Asian women. There are probably a lot of qualified Hispanic women. Pick the person who is best suited to do the job.
Even if she's white.
Even if it's not a woman.
Yeah. Yep.
I nominated dog.
At this point, I would probably vote for a dog before I would anybody else.
Vermin Supreme Court. Let's go. Everybody gets a free pony. It's constitutional.
Oh, no. That was if he was president.
No. He'll put it in the Constitution.
No, I'm saying maybe
everybody
should get their own, like, AK-47 or something if he becomes...
Free M4s for everyone.
And lifetime supply ammo.
Now we're talking.
Got my vote.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
If he did that, I would vote for him.
Wow.
I was looking for something and I don't know.
Well, that's gone now. All right.
The pad
Go,
crap
you
out
know
of him.
the, you know the thing.
No, that was my. Apparently, I
Yep.
don't have anything for something like that. So, oh yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Our feed is frozen again, Cody.
Fix it.
Are we frozen?
Yep.
Son of a gun.
It looks like I'm a deer staring at something. And Blackman's like, it looks like a hobo trying to get a ride on the side of the road. Yeah,
we're back.
yeah, do the up and down hand motion. So that way when it glitches again, you
Did
just
you turn it off and turn it back on again? Yes. Yes, we did. And it fixed it.
I don't
for
know
a
what's
little bit.
going on with this thing. Maybe it's just your computer.
Man, who knows tonight?
Listen,
Who
never
knows?
mind.
It would not be Embers of Liberty without something screwing up.
That is the most true statement.
Like you have said.
Like once we get big and
Ever.
famous and have thousands of dollars of equipment, we're going to have to pay a guy to literally come in here and make it look like things are messing up on purpose just so we can.
Cody's just going to randomly stop the camera.
Cody would just
Wait,
walk in the
what?
studio and just pah.
It's like, hey guys, watch this.
So,
We're frozen again.
we're froze again.
Son of a gun.
Is this a fucking joke?
We're getting algoed. It's the Russians. We said
No,
Russia.
we're not getting algoed.
It's the
just-
Russians.
This is just... Okay, I have a different solution this time. Cody, try changing the USB port that it's in.
Yeah. Like switch
That's
it.
dangerous.
Okay, so it's that one right
Yep,
there.
it's that
on
one right there.
That one right, yeah.
Like it?
Move it up.
No, nothing's gonna work right.
I'm getting naked while it's going
No,
by.
no,
you're
no,
not.
no.
Do not scare the viewership.
Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry you had to even think about hearing that.
I mean, we'll see if this solves the issue.
Are you saying that I might have to get naked?
No. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I wish you could see the look on Cody's face.
Cody's looking at me like, I will kill you.
Cameraman says, I'm in your PC stealing all your megahertz.
Trust me, bro, there's not that many in there.
Good luck.
Like, you may have two.
I mean, if it continues to do this, I'll bring the camera that I bought next week.
Oh, okay.
And we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
It is having some glitchy moments. It's like
yeah, I
throwing
mean,
things and doing stuff. And
the other option is we can always just go buy a new one at Walmart and put that one in the box and take it back.
that's the American way.
I mean, but so, and the thing is I don't feel bad saying that because this camera is only like 3 months old. There's no reason that it should be messing up like this.
And who knows? It could be a software issue, though, too.
It could be. Who knows? So anyway,
Are your drivers up to date, Joe?
probably not. The supposed tech guy doesn't technology very well
Doesn't take
anymore.
good anymore.
Which is fine. Cameraman, first off,
We don't have another camera.
the other camera is at my house in another city.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes away.
So that's not happening.
The show will be over. Almost over by then.
Yeah, by the time I got back, the show would be nearly
It would be over. Yeah.
It's like 7 zip codes away.
It's like 2 zip codes away.
Like 3. No, it's like 3.
Oh.
Huntsville's got like 19, so I don't know which one's his is.
35803, right?
I'm not saying my zip code on camera.
We said you're from Huntsville.
Yeah.
That narrows
There's
down
like
to 19 zip codes.
20
exactly
zip
my
codes
point.
in Huntsville.
We're like 3580 blah de blah.
Joe,
I'll tell you one thing. The one that you said, not it.
Okay.
it's not. That's where I work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this end of Huntsville.
Yeah. All the way south.
So,
It's just a zip code.
yes, that narrows things down by quite a bit in Huntsville.
Not really.
Joe, does your computer insert whatever here? No. That's from cameraman.
Then it's like, does your computer have a monitor?
No.
That's probably the nicest piece of equipment attached to that computer.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I spent more, believe it or not, on that monitor than I did on the computer.
I do believe that.
Didn't your brother give you the computer?
Exactly.
That computer was built in 1912.
No. It would be way bigger if it was built in 1912.
It's been renovated.
Anywho, so let's go to the vidya.
Cameraman, what's your last name? No,
Negative.
we are not giving that out.
Not happening,
Justin, what was the first school that you went to, and your dog's name and your mother's maiden name?
No.
Also, the last 7 digits of your. No, wait, that's wrong.
Last 4 digits of your debit card.
On.
The last 4 digits of your social security number.
No, I was gonna say all the digits, but say the last in front of it. But I mathed all kinds of wrong. Wow, the last 9 digits of your social security.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Exactly.
Not happening. Anywho,
that's unfortunately how I bought a motorcycle once.
Probes, are you still in?
Well, he said aloha, so I'm assuming he is still in Hawaii.
That's what I was going to ask. Are you still in Hawaii, Probes?
And he'll be right back.
So he didn't hear that. Good job.
I mean, he probably heard it, but
maybe.
Anywho, YouTube video.
All right, it's gonna freeze.
I really hope not.
Cameraman, only need your surname now. He's gonna find you.
Just as there had never been a woman on the Supreme Court before Ronald Reagan promised it and then made it happen, there has also, to this day, never been a black woman Supreme Court justice. Joe Biden promised in the campaign this past year that he would make that happen. Well, now, today, upon the retirement of longtime Justice Stephen Breyer, that pledge from Joe Biden is operative. The White House is reminded of it today, says President Biden plans to stick to that pledge. And yes, conservatives are going crazy about it, pretending there's absolutely no precedent for this. And this is an outrageous thing that Joe Biden promised to do. Like Ronald Reagan didn't exist. Ronald who? It's also worth knowing, though, that when Joe Biden made this pledge during the campaign, this pledge that he is now going to live by, and that's going to shape history from here on out over these next few days and months until we get the new nominee on the court. I mean, when Joe Biden made this pledge, which we are now going to live by, it was a really consequential thing when he did it. It had a huge political impact when he did it. And it was also no sure thing that he was going to do it. At least by one account, his most influential staff members on the campaign told him, as late as the day as he made the pledge, that he shouldn't do it. This is from a book about the Biden campaign by reporters Jonathan Allen and Amy Parnes. The book is called Lucky, How Joe Biden Barely Won the Presidency. This is such a great anecdote from the book. Check this out. Quote, Jim Clyburn had heard enough, or really not enough. The House Democratic whip pushed himself out of his seat at Charleston's Gaillard Center Concert Hall. He dashed for the exit with the urgency that friends recognized as a 79-year-old man's hurry to find a restroom. But Clyburn, forgive me, didn't need to pee. He needed to find Joe Biden, and fast, before the end of a commercial break during that night's presidential debate. It was February 25th, 4 days before the South Carolina primary, and Biden was blowing it again. Almost an hour and 45 minutes had passed in the debate already, and Biden hadn't mentioned the one promise Jim Clyburn had said would nail down black votes in South Carolina throughout the rest of the primary and in the general election. Clyburn was shocked, but not stunned. He made a beeline for the backstage area. Pete Buttigieg approached to greet the most powerful Democrat in South Carolina politics. Clyburn brushed Mayor Pete aside. His eyes darted around, and he finally found Biden. They huddled together out of earshot of the other candidates. There wasn't much time until Biden had to be back on stage for the final segment of the debate. Quote, "You've had a couple of opportunities to mention naming a black woman to the Supreme Court," Clyburn lectured his friend of nearly half a century, like a school teacher scolding a child. "I'm telling you, don't you leave the stage tonight without making it known that you will do that." Biden had seemed to get it the night before when Clyburn talked to him at a Congressional Black Caucus reception aboard the USS Yorktown, a decommissioned aircraft carrier that sat in Charleston Harbor as part of a naval museum.
Oh, I can't stand her. I cannot stand her.
First of all, Republicans are not pouncing on the fact that he said that he was going to do this and he's following up on it. Republicans are irritated at the fact that it's overtly racist.
Well, and just the fact that he's using the black community to sell his presidency.
Correct.
But yet, see, but people like Rachel Maddow, who are pieces of shit.
Yeah, Rachel Maddow.
Because like when Trump was president, and the, you know, it was his turn to, you know, nominate a justice, they were all like, "No, this is fascism. This is fascism." And Trump's just like, "I'm gonna pick somebody for this," and they're like, "No." He didn't even say who. He just said, you know, he's gonna pick the best person for the job. Blah blah blah. And fascism. Freaking can't stand Rachel Maddow. Like, somebody needs to find her and kick her in her balls, because that's really what she has.
Yeah.
My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff. So,
like, why can't we remove Rachel Maddow from Spotify?
Well, she's not on Spotify for one.
Okay, good. We won.
Victory!
So the early discussions for this new nominee are focusing on U.S. Circuit Court Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson.
They even picked a black woman with that type of name.
I don't know how you're supposed to say her name. I literally don't. So I'm sorry. I probably butchered it.
I heard it earlier. Like, I think it was yesterday or something. It's like, yeah, like Ketanji or something.
Anyway, District Judge J. Michelle Childs and California Supreme Court Justice Leandra Kruger. Jackson and Kruger are kind of the ones that everybody thinks it's going to be. So let's just see what the old interwebs has to say about Ketanji Brown Jackson.
So Prope says Biden straight up said that he would only choose a black woman. Could you possibly pander more than that? That's exactly what we've been saying. It's just he is literally using the black community to market his presidency.
Let's see.
By the way, Propes, are you still in Hawaii? What you looking up over there?
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Oh, nope, he got back Monday. Was your trip nice? It looked nice in the pictures.
Okay, so notable rulings in 2013 in American Meat Institute versus U.S. Department of Agriculture. She found that the rule preliminary. So Jackson
Words.
Read. Preliminarily allowed a U.S. Department of Agriculture rule to stand that required meat packers to identify the animal's country of origin. She found the rule likely did not violate the First Amendment. In 2014, she ruled that the Food and Drug Administration had violated the Administrative Procedure Act when it failed to grant a pharmaceutical company market exclusivity for its orphan drug release, despite the fact that release met the statutory requirements for exclusivity under the Orphan Drug Act.
The heck was that? Was that one of my children?
It was aliens.
Why?
She ruled that the D.C. Department of Corrections violated the rights of a deaf inmate because the jail officials failed to assess the inmate's need for accommodations.
Ropes, I'm glad your trip turned out good halfway through.
In 2018, She ruled on the decision to terminate grants for teen pregnancy prevention programs 2 years early. Jackson ruled that the decision to terminate the grants early without any explanation for doing so was arbitrary and capricious. She invalidated provisions of 3 executive orders that would have limited the time federal employee labor union officials could spend with union members, the issues that unions could bargain over in negotiations, and the rights of disciplined workers to appeal disciplinary actions. Something to do with the Malaysian Airlines flight. I mean, so not really anything super controversial in her resume that I see. So I don't see why she would be a bad Supreme Court justice, other than the fact that she is most likely an overt leftist. Because Democrats don't nominate people who are not overt leftists.
Let's be fair. There's going to be a leftist on there, whether we like it or
No,
not.
and that's fine. Like, I get that.
But she's replacing a leftist, so it's not like they're really gaining anything.
They're not gaining a seat. It's not a Republican or a conservative justice that's retiring. It's not one of the Republican nominees.
Really the conservatives just really need to just sit down and shut up and just let it happen.
But so the problem is that you should not allow overt political hacks to be justices on the Supreme Court.
Oh, no.
Under any circumstance.
No.
That is not the function of the Supreme Court of the United States. And I mean, you saw that in the OSHA mandate rulings and the dissent. Like, they literally, the left-leaning justices literally said, it's not constitutional, but we think it should happen anyway. What? I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Why? That's your wife.
I know.
Don't worry about it.
Keep talking.
We're doing freedom things.
Keep talking.
Right now.
I'm just watching.
We're doing freedom things.
You keep talking. I'm just watching.
So, Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't seem like it's going to be too big of a deal. But who was the other one? J. Michelle Childs. She is older than Ketanji Jackson.
Yep.
Well, there are no notable rulings in this particular person. Okay, so, 2014, Childs ruled in favor of 2 women who sued to have the state recognize their marriage performed in Washington, D.C., finding South Carolina's failure to recognize their marriage to be unconstitutional. Don't give a shit about that. Gay people can get married all they want. I don't care.
America.
Let's see. In September of 2020, Childs granted a preliminary injunction that blocked South Carolina's absentee ballot witness requirement. United States Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit panel initially blocked the injunction granted by Childs, but the full appeals court reinstated it during an en banc session. Ultimately, the injunction was struck down by the Supreme Court of the United States. Childs has made 2 decisions related to nuclear reactor facilities in South Carolina. First, in August of 2018, Childs refused to enjoin a state law that forced a state utility to cut its customers' rates after the failed construction of 2 nuclear reactors. Second, in December 2021, Childs rejected a request to enjoin a vaccine mandate from workers at a South Carolina nuclear facility. Childs ruled that the company did not have to continue employing someone who refused to get vaccinated. Now, the first, she's got no grant. I mean, so the first case was the gay marriage one, right? That's fine. I don't care. I don't care if you want to get married, get married. If you want to get married to a rock, get married to the rock. I don't give a shit. Okay, it's not my place.
I feel like Supreme Court shouldn't be making
Now,
rulings on marriage. It should not be their
The
business.
government should not be involved in marriage, period.
Yes.
So, there's that. Now, the injunction that blocks South Carolina's absentee ballot witness requirement, that's how election fraud is committed. So, don't like that. So, if I had to pick between the two right now, I would not pick Childs. Like, ever. Because she really seems like a leftist hack, which means she's probably going to be the one that gets in. So
she's the one with okay with removing poll watchers, basically. Is that what you're saying?
The witness requirement for absentee ballots.
Mm.
So having someone sign your ballot saying that they watched you fill it out.
Mm.
Having a witness on your ballot.
I got you.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. I don't know. I don't know what to think. Other than the fact that it's not going to be supremely consequential because it's still a 6-3 split. So, should be okay. But, you know.
Probe says, have you guys ever seen the Futurama's episode about gay marriage? It even allows for ghosts and horse marriages. You know, to be honest with you, at this point in time, with Demi Lovato doing her weird thing, or with the aliens and ghosts and
Demi
junk,
Lovato's straight up fucking crazy, dude.
I would not be surprised if that was the case. And I think too, like even Prince or somebody before he died was like talking about like having sex with a ghost and all that stuff.
I don't know, dude.
People
Sounds
be
extremely displeasurable.
Cameraman retracted a couple of messages, and I'm...
Oh, he's being creepy.
I saw a couple of them.
He's just being creepy.
No, I know he was, but he's disappeared since then. Super weird.
He's probably on his way here.
See this cup? I can use this cup to kill you.
All right, Riddick.
Cup? I raise your cup at Glock 48.
How? It's at the bottom of the lake.
Currently, it is in my waistband.
That's
I will
crazy.
throw it in the bottom of a lake after this episode.
That's crazy.
Anywho,
It
must
magically
be-
appears.
you must
It's
be
just like the
really good
sword
at
of Griffin.
snorkeling.
It's like the sword of Gryffindor. It presents itself to those who are worthy.
okay, so now, moving on from the Supreme Court retirement, because honestly, it's not consequential until there's more vacancies.
And it's
they're
really boring
conservatives.
stuff.
It is kind of boring.
I like your face.
Let's get to the fact that President Pop Pop pulled a Donald Trump.
Oh, you talking about where he called that dude a dumbass?
He pulled a Donald Trump.
Or no. What'd he say? What'd he say?
He called somebody a stupid son of a bitch.
That's right. Yep.
And frankly, it was tremendously rude and probably the worst thing that could have possibly happened.
Ever.
Bigly.
So Probst asked, was a Glock 48 caliber wise? It's a 9, isn't it?
It is a 9mm.
Because Justin sucks and he don't join the 40 group.
Actually, they don't make a Glock in the size that I want in 40 caliber.
Oh. Excuses.
So,
I mean, kind of smart being in a 9 too. It's kind of
9 is widely available.
now.
Yeah, it is widely available.
well, I mean, 40 was widely available too, but
Until the ammo situation.
not really. I was able to find 40 no matter what.
Well, good for you.
Regardless.
What's hard to find is 223 and 556.
No, it's not. Go to Larry's.
Well, it's not hard to find. It's just hard to find at a good price.
So, Probst says, I'm personally not bothered by offensive talk by presidents as long as it doesn't cross the line. Nor am I, but there were numerous clips of news anchors losing their fucking minds over Trump calling reporters names.
Exactly.
So, if you're going to lose your shit over
mean-
Trump, you should lose your shit over Biden. But
No, because double standards, Justin.
But here's the thing. Okay, so the offensive talk, calling Peter Ducey a stupid son of a bitch, is not what bothers me.
Because he probably really is a stupid son of a bitch.
Well, no. Peter Ducey's the one that asks all the good questions. He's the one that gets the sack stumbling over her words all the time.
He's the one that gets the sack all twisty.
Yes.
Twisty sack.
He gives the sack testicular torsion.
The twisties.
The twisties.
Which is the twisties.
Getting the sack all twisted.
So, Cody, go ahead. This is only like 40 seconds long.
Yeah, it's not long at all.
I want you to really pay attention to what he says, though.
The only reason I don't like doing this is you never report on why I've called a meeting. And this is really important. I had a very, very, very good meeting, total unanimity with all the European leaders. We'll talk about it later. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a great asset. More inflation.
Pause it. Do you think inflation is a political liability? No, it's an asset. More inflation. That's the part that pisses me off. Your people are literally making less money now.
I would hope he's being
because of
sarcastic about
inflation.
that. I'm hoping he's being sarcastic.
He's a Democrat. He's not being sarcastic about that. Anyway, let it finish.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Now, I'm just going to say what everybody's thinking. Those are some feisty words.
For a stupid son of a
For
bitch.
a stupid son of a bitch.
That's correct. Wow.
I'm sorry, President Pop Pop. Have you looked in the mirror lately? Because you are the stupid son of a bitch.
Would have loved for a reporter to stand up, like, if they had heard it and been like, I don't think you should talk about yourself like that in public.
I wish Peter Ducey had said that. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Or like you said, though, hey, them some spicy words come from a stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah. I don't think that the rhetoric is a big deal. I really don't. It doesn't bother me per se. What bothers me is the context in which he addressed inflation in his comments on a hot mic. Like, he clearly thought that microphone was not turned on anymore and that everything was over. He's on camera and there's a microphone in front of his face. And he literally called Pete Ducey a stupid son of a bitch, called inflation an asset, and called for more inflation. You know why inflation is an asset to a Democrat? Because it justifies their need to spend more money.
And their want to make people more dependent on the government.
Correct. So, I don't think he was being sarcastic. I think he actually meant inflation as an asset, more inflation. Which personally offends me. Because if I don't get a 10% raise at work, I effectively got a pay cut. 7% to break even. But 10% to actually make more. Like,
but which is, and the end of the year is only 2% for that year, which say if you make, excuse me, so I'm just throwing, I don't know what you make yearly.
I make enough.
But I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I'm just throwing a number out there.
Tell you, so.
I'm gonna say you make $50K a year, and let's see. Damn it.
Joe.
Hold on, I'm doing some math.
Words are tough.
Read.
Stupid. So, 2% is if you make $50K a year.
Yep.
That's $1,000.
Yep.
2%.
Yep.
Took you that long to do that math?
Well, the calculator didn't put in my 0.02. I don't know. It
that was mental.
Regardless.
You don't work with numbers all day. Never mind.
7% at minimum to keep up with inflation.
So you're looking at an extra 3.5, 3.5,
3 or 4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, per year.
Right.
Now the company that I work for had the best year they've ever had last year. I better get my damn 7% at minimum.
I would hope. Yeah, I'd hope you'd get more.
My company had the best year they ever had and said, "Hey, we need you to pick it up 6%."
You're in sales though, so that's.
If I don't get my 7% plus cost of living, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be pissed. I've already told my boss, if I don't get 7%, you give me a pay cut. Period. Like, sorry, dude. Because my actual cash flow right now is way worse than it was 2 years ago. Thanks a lot, Biden.
Mine is too.
Well, yeah, because inflation's at 7%.
No,
the consumer price index is up 6.5%. Like, what the fuck?
No,
dude?
mine's because I lost my job. But.
Well, yeah, but you started your own business. It's fine. Anyway,
I'm like the dark figure in the room. It's like, cash flow sucks. Cash flow sucks. Quit my job. My income tripled.
So that's kind of everything to do with politics that I have on the list today. What I really want, well, it's not, but a lot of it is tied into Justice Financial Corner, which there will be an installment of this week. I will not be talking. Okay, first off, I'm not going to talk about GameStop. I'm going to talk about things that are actually important within the market. I may mention GameStop, but I'm not going to talk exclusively about GameStop. Right.
The market did take a huge dump at the beginning of the week.
So we'll get to that. I hope Neil Young will remember that a Rogan fan don't need him around anyhow.
You cannot cancel Joe Rogan. We will riot.
He's literally uncancelable.
But if for some reason...
So Neil Young basically went, Spotify, you can either have my music and Spotify was like, okay, bye. See ya. Get out. We don't want you, dude.
But now we're up to 4 people.
You get like, what, 3 listens a year? We don't care about your music. Get out of here. Joe Rogan literally has 11 million listeners per episode. Like, Spotify's making their money off Joe Rogan. Because Joe Rogan has an exclusive contract with Spotify. Like, so Probst says, I've never watched his show. I've seen clips, but not more than 5-10 minutes of it.
You need to go watch.
You need to go watch some of the episodes with like Graham Hancock and
the doctor, what's his face?
Yeah, the mRNA vaccine guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason they're up in arms, because of that episode.
Candace Owens actually interviewed him recently too. That her interview's coming out on Daily Wire shortly. I don't know when exactly, but it's like 3 hours and 45 minutes long. Like, they went in depth. It's just funny to me though that all these famous people think they're so powerful that they can get somebody like Joe Rogan canceled.
So like, it was his interview with Dr. Robert Malone.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, they
is
don't
the
say
inventor of mRNA vaccines.
But he is pro-vaccine.
Yes, he's
vaccinated himself.
Triple vaxxed.
Yes.
And has had COVID twice.
Yes. The only thing he doesn't say, he says, do not get your kids vaccinated because they don't need it.
It's true, though. They don't need it.
Okay, so we all got COVID in the house, right?
Yeah.
We all did.
Your kids handled it better than y'all did.
You know how fast them kids knocked it out? Our 8-month-old knocked COVID out in 2 days.
Yeah.
2 days. Here I am 2 weeks later, still like, you know, I could sleep 18 hours a day.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking insane that they're claiming that Joe Rogan's podcast was full of medical misinformation and disinformation
And most of it wasn't even about vaccines. Most of it was just about, as far as him dissing people and putting people down in the medical field, it was all the doctors that back Big Pharma to make money. It had nothing to really even do with with COVID.
Out of everybody involved in the COVID vaccine stuff, Dr. Malone is probably the only one that it does not stand to financially gain from any of it.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it wasn't even about COVID. It was just about people being shady in the pharmaceutical industry. He pretty much come out and said that the pharmaceutical companies literally budget to misbehave.
Yeah.
He said that they literally have part of their budget so that way they can do illegal shit.
Yep.
And somehow they get away with that.
The thing is, though, is that Probst said it just now. They hate him because he speaks a different thought than the BS. And it's true.
That's because, okay.
It's true. He thinks for himself.
Exactly. But let's be completely honest with ourselves here. Society, the very pro-vaccine people, I'm not talking about just pro people like, hey, you should get vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people that are like, no, I'm okay with the fear-mongering because it makes you want to get vaccinated. That's the people trying to get him canceled. There are people out there that's like, hey, if we got to lie to you a little bit to make you get vaccinated, we're okay with that.
Yeah.
There are people that are actually okay with that.
Yep. Oh my God, dude. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand why semi-famous people like Neil Young think that they can cancel people.
What pisses me off is the people that are like, oh, finally some people with some sense and some knowledge. No, like, these are musicians.
Yeah, they literally
just
know
because
nothing.
they can play music and they know how to play music doesn't mean they know anything about anything else.
I mean, Leonard Skinner basically released the first ever diss track in Sweet Home Alabama. When they said a Southern man don't need him around anyhow. Because that's one of the lines from Sweet Home Alabama.
Right.
You know? Like, that's basically the first diss track ever.
Oh, diss track.
Yeah.
Oh, they said disc track.
No,
I'm like, what the
diss.
crap's a disc track?
Diss. And it was epic. I loved it.
You all right over there, Cody?
What?
You having the COVID shits over there?
What the hell is happening right now?
I just saw Cody go.
Yeah, I did too.
I'm looking up stuff for the thing. Don't worry about it. It's good.
Well, we're currently worried about it, Cody.
No need.
But if somehow,
hold on, your Cody.
Yeah.
Weekly funding. Let's limit it to 1 5-minute or less.
Yeah. I'm just putting idea things out there. You're good. You're good. Fine.
But
wait a minute.
If they meant,
why am I limited to 5 minutes? You go on a
because
fucking
yours
rant
is always
for
a
fun.
video.
I mean,
and it's at the very end of the show.
and we got to be careful with your stuff if it's going to be a video because we don't want to get flagged.
Especially if it's anything from a movie.
All right.
Fair enough.
Fair, right? Anywho.
All right. So if they do manage to somehow get Rogan,
they're not going to get Rogan canceled. Spotify's paying him a shit fucking load of money right now.
I think it was like $100 million.
Yeah.
Like that. That's a lot of freaking money.
Yeah.
Spotify's going to be like, no, y'all piss off.
Yeah. Like I said, Spotify will literally take anyone over Neil Young at this point.
So, Cody, hold on. There's a guy in the chat now called, his name's Boyke?
Boyke.
Okay, that's him? Okay,
No,
cool.
it's not him. I mean, that's one of my people, though.
Oh, okay.
Welcome in.
Welcome in. Welcome to Freedom.
They don't
you
hate
enjoy
you yet,
freedom
but they
things? Well, then you're on the right spot. Anyway, I think that pretty much covers all the
Hold
stuff.
on, I want to talk about this doctor some more. This episode, the reason they're wanting to cancel him, right? So I listened to the whole thing. The whole thing.
Yeah, I did too.
And, like, literally, I'm sitting there listening to this, so, why, what's the problem? Like, I literally was just like, I don't understand the problem here.
Because there is no problem.
It's because, literally, the guy just mentioned COVID and was like, hey, a lot of this stuff's just really being hyped up, and it's really not as bad as what people are saying. Like, yeah, he's like, yeah, it's real, and people are dying from it, and it's dangerous. It's a bad disease.
Nobody fucking disputes that.
No sane person does.
Correct. I mean, there's some COVID
Like the
deniers
Trump
out there.
pansies are like, no, man, this is made up by the Biden administration to.
No, I don't even think that it's hardcore Trumpists that deny COVID's existence. I think it's legit hardcore conspiracy theorists that.
Well, as a conspiracy theorist, I don't claim them.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, we don't claim them.
No, we don't. We're talking QAnon people.
Oh yeah,
okay?
no, those aren't conspiracy theorists. Those are just idiots.
Correct.
Because see, in order for a conspiracy to be a conspiracy theory,
there's only like 6
there's got to be like an ounce of truth there. COVID being non-existent is not. There's not truth in that.
No, there's not. There's always a little bit of truth in conspiracy.
Exactly,
theories.
that's what I'm saying. So that's not even.
Even if it's just that much.
That's what I'm saying, though. But COVID not being real isn't even a conspiracy theory. That's just stupid.
Yeah. Regardless, Rogan's not going anywhere. He just had an episode released with Jordan Peterson. It's a pretty good listen.
Oh yeah, Jordan Peterson's pretty awesome.
So I would suggest listening to that one. It's 3 hours and 45 minutes long.
Is that the one where he talks about the Bible?
Yes. He talks about a lot of things.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does.
In his typical Canadian accent.
He's the one that talks about like allowing your kids to do dangerous things safely.
I don't know.
Maybe not in that episode, but like he has talked about it before. I guess there's like a TikTok sound with his voice about allowing your kids to do dangerous things safely.
I think that perhaps it's time for Matt Probst's favorite special spot in the show. And that would be Joe's Conspiracy Corner. I'm going to the bathroom. I have consumed too much water. I'll try that.
Well, you go to the bathroom.
I'm going to go take a call.
Drunk no more. Okay, dokie. Are you laughing over there? Oh. Today, first of all, we're going to go through the UFO news. So, Massachusetts has had nearly 2,000 UFO sightings, including one officially recognized as, I don't know, because it cut off right there. Let's see. Massachusetts had nearly 2,000 UFO sightings, including one officially recognized as a historic event. Dun, dun, dun. UFO, okay, here's one for y'all. UFO expert thinks alien would love true leader Queen Elizabeth. Apparently there's new UFO footage out that has completely stumped the VFX gang at Corridor Crew. And there is I don't really have any good Bigfoot news. So, tonight, we are talking about Agenda 21.
What about Order 66? I'm confused.
Order 66?
What? Don't worry about it. Just do your thing.
That's Star Wars. Don't worry about it.
No, it was supposed to be a funny within the conspiracy corner because you said the thing, but just do you, man. It's fine. No.
Okay.
Sorry to confuse you. Sorry, guys.
So you threw me off there, Cody.
What are we talking about on Joe's Conspiracy Corner tonight?
Agenda 21. I can't believe you've never heard of Agenda 21.
I probably have. I just don't remember it. I tend to focus on the really important conspiracy theories, like 9/11 being an inside job.
This, in the conspiracy world, this is
9/11 was done by aliens, didn't you know, Justin?
According to Joe, yes, it was.
No, that was a joke.
So, what's Agenda 21, Joe? Why is it important?
Why is it a conspiracy?
So this is from the UN.org. This is what they say Agenda 21 is. So it's real. It's just what really is their intentions with Agenda 21, right?
Go on.
Agenda 21 is a comprehensive plan of action to be taken globally nationally and locally by organizations of the United Nations system, governments, and major groups in every area in which human impacts on the environment. Agenda 21, the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development, and the Statement of Principles for the Sustainable Management of Forests were adopted by more than 178 governments at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, held in Rio de Janeiro in 1992. The Commission on Sustainable Development was created in December 1992 to ensure effective follow-up of UNCED to monitor and report on implementation of the agreements at the local, national, regional, and international levels. It was agreed that a 5-year review of Earth Summit progress would be made in 1997 by the United Nations General Assembly meeting in special session. The full implementation of Agenda 21, the program for further implementation of Agenda 21, and the commitments to the Rio principles were strongly reaffirmed at the World Summit on Sustainable Development held in Johannesburg, South Africa, from the 26th of August to September 4th, 2002.
Okay, so condensed version, what is Agenda 21?
Okay.
And why is it a conspiracy theory?
So it's basically where the government wants to be able to control food production.
Oh, so it's basically communism.
Essentially.
Because when the government seizes control of the means of production, that's communism.
And now I'm not pulling this off of anywhere. This is kind of just what the general idea of what conspiracy theorists have thought Agenda 21 to be, right?
Right.
Eventually, everybody lives in the cities. We've talked about this. Eventually, everyone lives in the cities.
Yep.
And they're controlled within the cities, so that way that, they can't go out and they can't be part of the freeness outside cities, right?
Yeah.
And farmers are under control of the UN and the government. They have to plant what the government tells them to plant, and that's already, coming down the pipe right as we speak.
Well, yeah, of course it is.
Which there are some good things that come from that, like say the government pays farmers. They're paying a lot of farmers this year to not plant food.
Yeah, that's bullshit. We need the food more than ever right now.
But the reason for it, at least, if the reason for it is legit, then it's a good thing. Because what it is farmers till, right? They till the soil up.
Yep.
That helps, but that makes more erosion, which means you lose more of your topsoil, and you can't get your topsoil back. But the plants need the topsoil to thrive. That's where all your minerals. That's where all your vitamins and minerals and everything the plants need are in.
Yeah.
So they say that's the reason they're paying farmers not to plant, is so that way we can help with the topsoil, right? But they're also paying them to...
Smells like bullshit.
Yeah, I thought so too. But they're also paying them to plant cover crops, though, too. Those actually really do help with the soil regeneration.
It's all a big
But...
Trust the plan, Joe.
Get
yeah, see, Probst knows. The reason they're paid not to plant food is to help stop soil degradation. Yeah, that's why.
Trust the plan, Joe.
However,
Trust the plan.
Let's say...
Go on. I, too, have an uncle.
What?
You got it.
So let's say an asteroid hits somewhere on the planet, and it's like a big deal.
Well, if an asteroid hits, we're all fucked.
No, we're talking about like non-extinction level asteroid.
Nah, that doesn't happen. Ask the dinosaurs how that worked out.
Okay, so
that was Transformers.
The government
Dinosaurs
can say,
were a myth.
The government can sweep in, take control of farms, and decide what food goes to who under Agenda 21. At least that's in the conspiracy world. That's what we believe. And they basically this is about controlling people and controlling food and controlling populations.
Which, granted, that wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Given that it's...
I'm just saying it's conspiracy. It's just Conspiracy Corner. We're talking about Agenda 21.
The real question is, have you looked into the lost civilizations anymore? Because you were supposed to do that.
Lost civilizations?
Yes.
And we didn't do that. It was actually supposed to be the next one, which was...
I thought that was supposed to be the last one.
Well... So
we talked about
the
that.
Younger Dryas impact, but the effects of the Younger Dryas impact was what you were supposed to look into, like the fact that there were advanced civilizations prior to the Younger Dryas impact.
That's next week.
The Clovis culture.
Oh, the Clovis culture.
Yeah.
It was
Atlantis.
supposed to be last week, but COVID things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked about the Younger Dryas impact last week.
Huh.
Yeah, Probst, you're exactly right. Over farming caused the.
Well, yeah. I
Dust
mean,
Bowl.
there's definitely a good reason for Agenda 21 as far as like the soil erosion and things of that nature. But
I'm not saying there's good. I don't like.
There's solid basis for it, right? The problem arises when the government control happens.
But it's not just about farming. Like it's way more than just farming though. Farming's just part of it.
Well, go on because we got plenty of time tonight.
Okay, let me see if I can find just some fragments of this.
Matt, what I was saying is based on what I understood Agenda 21 to be. It kind of made sense. But I'm not the one that looks into all of this. Joe's got this one.
Let's see. Let's see.
You are terribly prepared, as usual.
Hey, you know how I am.
It seems like the USB port swap actually fixed our camera issue.
Yep. It's so weird because now it's like Agenda 21 is being touted as a good thing. When back when we first heard about it, it was like, what? So, I mean, it's not been talked about in a long time. And Probst is right there. Yeah, the reality is that farmers should be smart enough to rotate their crops, therefore negating the need to pay people not to farm. And one thing I'm going to be experimenting with this year is no-till farming, is no-till gardening, where you don't till. You just literally dig where you're going to plant the seed, and you put the seed in there. And what it is you use mulch and stuff to mitigate like weeds and stuff like that.
Okie dokie.
So that may be all I have on this because there's like a lot of reading to do on this. But it's all about sustainable development, blah, blah, blah. I think that's how they pitch it anyway. They pitch it as, oh, hey, this is about to help the planet, blah, blah. But really what it is about government control.
So, the American Policy Center President Tom DeWeese has described the resolution as a new kind of tyranny that, if not stopped, will surely lead us to a new dark ages of pain and misery, yet unknown to mankind. The criticism of the resolution extended to the Republican Party's 2012 platform, which stated, "We strongly reject the UN Agenda 21 as erosive of American sovereignty." Let's see.
Yeah, Probst says you should check out aquaponics. It's hydroponics, but it also has fish in the mix. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, I've got a setup. It's got a big barrel down at the bottom where you can put fish. I kind of messed it up, and I added the hose water directly to the fish, and I killed all of them when I first started it. Because, fish don't like, chlorine. Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thunk it? In Arizona, for example, a proposed bill dictated that the state could not adopt or implement the creed, doctrine, or principles or any tenet of Agenda 21 and prohibited it from implementing programs of, expanding any sum of money for, being a member of, receiving funding from, contracting services from, or giving financial or other forms of aid to a host of organizations with sustainability agendas, including the President's Council on Sustainable Development. So there was actually a 2015 novel about it. Agenda 21, Into the Shadows, written by Glenn Beck with Harriet Park. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Probst says he wants to have large greenhouses that are all aquaponics to grow food for Ascendia. He wants to try and grow and limit, or he wants to try and limit regular farming if possible. One thing with aquaponics and hydroponics, you can grow a lot more food in a lot smaller space.
You know what Agenda 21 sounds like to me?
What?
The Hunger Games. Panem.
Yes, think of that exactly. I would say that is a good.
I think that's what it sounds like to me.
Yes. Exactly.
Where the people in the Capitol just live these rich, lavish lives, and the general population is forced into servitude.
Yes. But it's portrayed as the best for all.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
I got you. All right. So, on your reading list.
Go read the entire Agenda 21, which is 351 pages.
No. Clovis culture.
Clovis culture.
Göbekli Tepe.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
Atlantis. As it pertains to the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis.
Gotcha.
Graham Hancock is a great place to start.
Okay.
Dude's brilliant.
Okay.
There's a bunch of Joe Rogan episodes.
Send me links.
They're long.
I don't care. Send me links.
But I'll send them to you. And then after that, ayahuasca. You need to talk about ayahuasca.
Okay, so if anybody's got any connections on where we can get some ayahuasca.
No. I don't want ayahuasca. No.
Cody.
Because ayahuasca is the one that makes you puke your guts out and shit all over the place for 4 hours while you're experiencing entities.
Cody,
DMT, on the other hand, is the one where it's like a 15-minute experience and you're done.
Cody, do you want to be our test subject on some ayahuasca?
I don't know what that is, so no.
We will give anybody
dimethyltryptamine, right? That's DMT.
I have no idea.
I think that's DMT. Anyway,
we will give you a free T-shirt if you want willing to come down here and try ayahuasca in front of our live studio audience, which is just us, and let us.
Probst says ayahuasca is great. I don't believe you. I believe that maybe the journey that you go on with ayahuasca is great. But
the shitting yourself for 4 hours afterwards does not sound like fun.
From what I've heard, you're shitting and sick the entire time. So, pass. DMT, though, I'm down for that. I'll try that. Would try.
I want to be more in shape before I was to try any of that.
But, anywho. So, that's it for Joe's Conspiracy
I don't
Corner.
think Probst is going to admit to shitting himself.
So, I think you've got some pretty good reading material to get for next week. You know, it's just one of those things where there's a lot that we could really talk about.
I mean, we could sit here all night long.
You know what time it is?
Time to go to bed.
You know what that sound is?
Time to go to bed.
Yeah, I almost went to sleep in your conspiracy corner. I think I might actually be awake for this.
It's time for Justin's Financial Corner.
Why is it asking me if I want to block Matt's comment?
So, there's actually some important stuff to talk about with Justin's Financial Corner this week. In recent months, there has been an increased scrutiny on the fact that members of Congress are allowed to trade in individual stocks. Nancy Pelosi has gone on record saying that we have a free market system. First off, if you are getting private briefings on trades or on anything that impacts the stock market, you should not be allowed to trade ahead of the general public.
That's insider trading.
That is called insider trading.
Which is
So,
illegal.
when you look at all of these,
Martha Stewart can tell you about that one.
when you look at all of these people in Congress who come into Congress middle class and leave wealthy. Nancy Pelosi's been under great scrutiny for many years over her questionable trading tactics, but it's not her that does it. It's her husband that does it. So fucking what? You're giving him the information, right? So there have been a string of members of Congress who are trying to introduce bills that would prohibit members of Congress from trading in stocks, individual stocks. I don't have a problem with them having like a 401k where they've got, the SPY ETF or...
But they can't really control that. They're broker.
They can't control that. Well, no, the SPY, so it's an ETF, so it's a conglomerate of different stocks, right? So it's like 10% Tesla, 10% Apple, and then just a bunch of other shit, right? The S&P 500 is like 500, I think it's 500 companies. I don't know. I can't. That one I'm not sure of. But like the SPY and just the other ETFs that are out there, right? There's actually a meme stock ETF now. And it's not doing well at all. But that's beside the point. Do you guys think that it should be a thing? Do you think that
Hell no.
members of Congress should be able to trade stocks?
No.
Then
I think they should be able to trade stocks, but not the stocks.
No. No, they should not be allowed to trade stocks, period.
Yeah.
Unless it's an ETF.
Yeah. Or unless it's like they should not be able to directly trade stock. Like they should have.
No, because then all that happens is they
listen.
tell their friends and their family, hey, go buy this stock, and then they profit off of it anyway.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, no matter what, they're going to get the information out there. And why would a broker be like, oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to ignore that information and...
Exactly.
Yeah, not make money.
There's literally a Twitter account called Nancy Pelosi's Portfolio Tracker that tracks all of her stock purchases. Her puts, her option, her call options, her buys, her sells, all of it. Because she trades on insider information. I mean, when you look at what happened at the beginning of the pandemic, the scamdemic, really, she made millions of dollars in the stock market, as did a lot of members of Congress who were allowed to trade ahead of consumers because they knew what was coming prior to the public knowing. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
Not only that, but now they want to regulate Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
They can piss off with that because that's the whole point of cryptocurrency.
Exactly. The whole point of DeFi, just decentralized finance, is to create trust in the financial system. And right now you have a bunch of fucking money that the Federal Reserve can just be like, nope, that's worth less now. So basically what's happened over this past year, 2 years really, is that the Federal Reserve has been injecting all this money into the economy by buying all these stocks. So when they buy all these stocks, it makes the price go up. And then when the price starts going up, people sell their stock. Because you can't buy a stock that nobody's selling, right? So like they're artificially inflating the prices of these stocks by injecting all this money into it, and then people are selling, and now there's cash that flows into the economy, right? Well, what happens when the Fed starts selling all of those holdings? Now they're taking cash out of the system and putting it back into the Federal Reserve. DeFi is meant to completely do away with all of that. Like, DeFi is meant to make it so that when you sell something, you know exactly where the money's going, you know exactly how much it is, you know how much it's valued at, all that stuff. The main problem with Bitcoin right now is that it's so volatile. Nobody really wants to take it for payment, right? So, like, if you were to sell a car for 1 Bitcoin, there's a chance that if you sold that car when Bitcoin was at $65,000, and that's what the car was actually worth, now you've made half of what you sold it for, because Bitcoin is like $33,000 right now. I don't know the exact number, but it took a huge nosedive, right? So, and that brings me to the market instability that we've been seeing this past week. So Monday, the stock market was actively crashing. Like, that was a flash crash that you saw. That's not a market correction. The market was crashing. The Federal Reserve had to inject a shitload of money into the stock market to keep it from crashing. That's the only reason it recovered. Now, as it relates to my favorite stock, that kind of recovery has only been seen a couple of times.
What the hell was that?
I think that was Bryson.
We're hearing some crazy stuff up in here.
So it went down like 4% and then recovered and was green, like barely green on the day, right? So the only other 2 times that happened were leading up to the Volkswagen squeeze, where the prices of Volkswagen stock shot straight up because Porsche had bought all these. Porsche wanted to become the majority stakeholder in Volkswagen. Well, it ended up biting everybody in the ass because they were sold short a lot, and then Porsche bought up all the shares, and then everybody had to buy the shares back, and the price just kept going up and up and up and up and up. Which is basically what happened with GameStop in January of last year. We're actually one day past the decision to turn off the buy button by Robinhood. You know, make it position close only. You couldn't buy or sell options contracts on GameStop. You couldn't buy or sell options contracts on AMC. You couldn't buy more than like 2 shares of GME and AMC at a time per day. Like, crazy shit. Oddly enough, Robinhood released their financials. They had their earnings call on the 27th. Immediately dropped the price down to the all-time low. They IPO'd at $38, I think, per share. Currently, they sit at just over 12. They've only been a publicly traded company for 6 months. Because they IPO'd after they decided to shut off the buy button. So, shit's about to get real in the economy. And just be careful with your investments right now. Like, if you can afford to hold your stocks, hold them. Don't sell them just because they're losing money. An unrealized loss is just that. It's unrealized. You haven't lost anything if you haven't sold. That's my advice. Granted, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. But the GME saga is not over. I can tell you that right now. It's still holding strong at close to $100 a share. Granted, that's a lot less than what I bought at. But it's still hanging in there. And I don't think that it's going anywhere. I think that it's going to continue to go up and down for a little bit. The thing is the chart looks pretty much exactly like the Volkswagen squeeze at this point. We keep getting Russian bots in here, and it's starting to piss me off. Anyway, I
haven't seen it yet.
Well, I hit it already, so.
Yeah. Seen him as soon as they pop in, he's out. He's got them.
Yeah. But anyway, that pretty much does it for Justin's Financial Corner.
Well, hold on now.
What?
Have you heard the latest NFT news?
No.
Paul McCartney his original notes for Hey Jude are being sold as an NFT. This is why I think NFTs, in that sense, are bullshit.
It doesn't matter what you think of it. It
There's a lot of people.
literally has no bearing on
There's a lot
NFTs
of
what
people.
you think
There's
of
a
it.
lot of people that
Because
think
the
that.
point of the point of an NFT is to say, yeah, Paul McCartney has the original notes, but I have the only authenticated digital copy. And if it has value to that person, then it has value to that person. It doesn't matter what you think of it. I personally view NFTs as more useful for a gaming application than I do anything else.
I know.
And there's a legit reason that it could be like that. I see NFTs as a way for content creators to get paid for unique things that they do. You know? Because, and here's the thing. So, like, with an NFT, you don't have to post it that you have it somewhere. You don't have to show what the image is because people can screenshot images. If you have a highly coveted creator's NFT, then you can sell it for shitloads of money. It's like I said, it's not anything to do with what you think of NFTs.
I know value is value, and it's based on what people want. If somebody wants a turd that Da Vinci took a dump in the middle of the woods,
I mean, there's a bitch that made like $100,000 selling her farts in jars.
That's what I'm saying, man. When people see value in something, value is the demand for something. It's not actual value.
Like, first off, who the fuck thinks to sell a fart in a jar?
I don't know, but I wish I would have thought about that. Like, man.
Listen, nobody wants a fat, hairy man's fart in a jar, okay?
Somebody does. Somebody out there
but
does.
Somebody has that finish.
Some pervert wanted this hot bitch's fart in a jar so he could smell her butthole.
I just, like, to me, okay,
and
so
apparently there was a lot of them that wanted it.
Okay, so imagine, like,
See, now,
you
and
fart in a
hold on.
jar.
How do you even get the idea to do that?
Exactly. Matt makes a good point. I think NFTs eventually will have a real valid use for digital ownership. It doesn't matter if they screenshot the NFT. The value comes from the official ownership of something, which is the point.
I get it.
Then stop shitting on them.
Oh, I'm going to shit on them.
Then you
I
don't
think
get
it's
it.
stupid. Oh, no, I get why people would think it's valuable. To me, though, it's like the same reason people think that... What's something I could use?
It's like thinking that your opinion has value.
Or yours.
Exactly.
Joke's on you. I don't think anything's valuable. Except
That's
guns
bullshit.
And ammo and friends.
And liquor.
So,
yeah. All right, you called my bluff.
Anyway, also in the new GameStop app, there is code for trading in NFTs. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
partnership with Loopring?
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Aliens.
What were we talking about before you commented on Propes there?
The farts and cans.
Farts and cans.
I don't want to hear about it
Farts
anymore.
and cans.
I don't want to talk about it
No.
anymore. This
No,
is just okay.
No,
this is just like the dick talk. I don't
So,
want to talk about girls selling farts
Imagine
and
you
cans
put
anymore.
a jar between your legs and fart. How long do you have to cap that sucker off before that fart?
Not long, apparently.
Like, can you sell it based on potency?
I don't know. I think it was just the fact that she was hot and people like the smell of her asshole.
But I'm just thinking,
I don't
like,
know, dude.
Like, I feel like this needs to be an
feel like
experiment
you-
now. Like, somebody
no,
needs to
no,
fart in a
no,
jar.
no, Joe,
We need to cap it
Joe.
off.
Nobody's farting in a jar here.
Joe, if you want that experiment, do it your damn self behind a closed ass door.
Yeah.
Away the hell from us.
Oh no! Now I'm farting in a jar, and you know what's going to be on this desk next Saturday?
If there is a fart in a jar on this desk on Saturday, I'm punching you in the dick.
I am too.
I'm just saying it's an experiment, and we uncap it live on air. We uncap it live on air to determine whether a fart will last in a jar.
No.
serious.
I am too.
I'm all the way out on
We
that.
got to do this for science.
No, you do it for science on your own fucking time.
We got to do this for science, man.
I'm not doing that shit. Ever.
I can think of
Because I'm sitting here thinking like I
don't care what you're doing.
All I can think of is
smell of your fart.
Did the
in a
fart make it
condensed
to this
jar.
dude that bought the jar fart?
Well, apparently it did. Because people kept buying them.
I just have to, I'm so curious now. It just comes with my personality, man. I'm just a curious individual. Like, even though it's something that's not desirable, I'm curious.
Anyway, this has been Justin's Financial Corner.
Justin's farty financial corner.
No. Not Justin's farty financial corner.
No.
Justin's Financial Corner.
That's it. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
End.
Justin's fart in a jar financial corner.
Done.
Shut up.
Zero.
So next week you're going to come in here and you're going to click on your little image over there, and I'm going to in the little corner over there. I'm going to have a little jar with green smoke coming out of it.
You want to get punched in the dick? That's how you get
See,
punched
even
in the
Cody
dick.
thinks that's funny.
No. If you would have told him.
So I shouldn't have told him. I shouldn't have done it.
Well, no, God.
Or completely remade his
Well, the golf-
picture so that way when he clicks on it, it's just a fart in a jar.
Oh, man.
Which one are we going with, Cody? Are we going with the Biden gap?
Yeah, no, we're going with the Biden. So that actually, that actually got sent to me. So I requested a funny video because I was kind of short today. Like, I found funny animal videos and this and that. We actually got some music sent to us to play, but I'm gonna play it with y'all off air first. It's because I haven't listened to it yet. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Copy that.
We'll see, and if it's something worth it, we'll play it next week.
Prope says Joe is just a jar of trapped gas. It's airtight. But I feel like the potency.
I don't give a shit.
The potency, man,
I don't
would go
care.
away.
Cody, I put it in the playlist.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to refresh it.
Yep.
Also, I want to meet the freak that likes the
very
smell
bottom.
of farts. Like, that's just gross.
So, we've changed the title of the Weekly Funny to Cody's Comedy Corner. Because Joe and I have a corner, so now Cody has a corner.
I have a corner.
And, welcome to Cody's Comedy Corner.
It is a good corner.
Go ahead, Cody.
All right. I gotta have some like theme music or something. You got theme music? He's got theme music?
We'll set it up.
I gotta have something,
This
man.
is kind of spur of the moment thing.
I mean, it was. It kind of happened. All right.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to. Anyway. We're going to get a lot done. Cicadas. I just got one. Got me.
Sleep with Joe. Oh, this is the best. Oh!
Ah, I knew I should have had that whiskey.
Where's hospice?
And the president of South Africa
He's doing that weird thing with his hands again.
He just looks excited to be invited.
We have fewer democracies in the world today than we did 15 years ago. Fewer.
Fewer.
Not more. Fewer.
Führer.
Führer? Da Führer?
Looks like he's farting.
Just remind him, I wrote the bill on the environment. On the environment. On the environment. Why would I not be for it? That's a serious question, right? Is it acceptable to me? Come on. Because of the actions we've taken, things have begun to change. End of quote. In the past 3 weeks,
End of quote.
Especially honored to share the stage with Brittany and Jordan and Nathan and Margaret Catherine. I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what.
bet he
Look at her.
does.
She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there like a little lady in her legs.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm going to snip him
Brittany,
later.
you're doing triple duty. Anyway.
Oh.
Meetings going here in Cornwall.
Very well.
How do you realistically and physically keep these families from coming to the
Handler
US
Jill?
when things will not get better in their countries right away?
I can't guarantee that. But I know, you know, that old thing. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step.
You
I
got
hope
new
they
legs.
show the thing with his hands.
And the President
You got
of the
new
United
legs.
States, Joseph R. Biden Jr.
Because his dad is probably embarrassed.
I'd be embarrassed.
His dad's probably dead. He's like 79,000 years old.
I'm not confident he's changed behavior. What the hell? What do you do all the time? When did I say I was confident? I said, what I said was, let's get it straight. I said what will change their behavior is if the rest of the world reacts to them and it diminishes their standing in the world.
You what?
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far.
And they gave me a little girl to sniff.
They're maybe going to soon. I don't know.
Look. How long is this?
It's like 4 minutes.
The fact that you can make 4 minutes worth of this stuff is kind of sad.
That fella down under. Thank you
The
very
dude
much.
has barely been
That
president.
fella
a year.
down under.
Guess what? Employers can't find workers. I said, yeah. Pay them more. Pay them more.
Piss
Pay
off.
them more. Anyway.
That is literally the longest walk. Like, they walked all the way down that dang bridge.
Thank you.
Oh, they didn't do the one with his hands.
What?
The one in the town hall where he just stood there like this.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's probably plenty more than that, but they were still they still managed to make what would you say 4 minutes?
Almost 5.
Almost 5 minutes worth of those in 1 year's worth of presidency.
Why is this still... There we go. Well, you know, he's just a gaff machine, dude.
I wonder how much his farts would go for in a jar.
$0. Shut the fuck up about farts and jars.
No, purple hair.
Shut up about farts and jars.
Purple hair girls would pay for
I
it.
don't care. We're not talking about jarred farts anymore. Period. End of discussion.
You want to talk about circumcision?
I swear to God, I will end you.
I'm laughing at Cody's expressions. Cody's just like...
Granted, that dude was sending you stuff a couple of days ago, was he not?
Dude, he's still sending me stuff about circumcision, and he still posts about circumcision all the time.
I'm so glad I'm not in that group anymore.
No, like on his personal page.
Why are you friends with him then?
He sent me a friend request.
We'll unfriend him.
Oh.
And he was part of the Alabama Libertarians. I didn't think he was a weirdo.
Well, clearly he is.
Yeah.
Unfriend him.
It's not that big a deal to me.
Then why were you complaining to me about it?
No, because he sent me, like, actually in a message.
Yeah.
That's when things got weird. And I kind of thought about it then, but I'm like, I kind of want to keep track of this dude. You know how you don't shove weirdos off in a corner to go be on their own. You kind of keep them near you so that way they can be weird near you.
No.
No. Listen,
No.
listen.
I don't care what comes out of your mouth next.
If you ignore
that is not
if
true.
you ignore the weirdos, and they can sneak up behind you and kill you. You keep the weirdos near you so you can keep an eye on them.
It's not the weirdos. It's the creepy guy at work.
Yeah,
you give him a Snickers.
I imagine he's
so
the
the day
same
that he
dude.
comes into work with a sawed-off shotgun.
Thanks for the candy.
But see, I imagine
and then he
he's
blasts
that dude.
everybody else.
But see, I imagine he's that dude.
I don't. Do you even get that reference?
Yes, that's that Dane Cook reference.
My God, there is hope for the world. Joe understood a reference.
I don't know. I don't know if there's hope for him or hope for it or not. At this point, it's a crapshoot.
And Probst and the weirdos even closer.
Well, I think. Yeah, mine too.
Well,
really need new chairs.
Yeah.
I'm nice and comfy over here.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up, Cody.
I provided my chair.
Nobody fucking asked you. But I'm Justin.
I'm Joe.
And Biden's confused.
Tally ho, lads.